Okay, well, welcome to the Mike and Robert show.
Welcome. I'm Mike.
Okay, and I'm Robert. Our purpose is to give you some instruction on how to properly resize your images. And this is, of course, for resizing and for our digital exhibition in Camera Club. So, Mike, I don't know, one of the things I'd like to ask you is, what's the kinds of problems that you see? Because Mike is responsible for these images. He's basically the man that projects them every month. So he can tell you the kinds of things that are typical problems.
Typical problems we get are problems with images that are not the right size, either horizontally or vertically, or not the right color profile, or we have some resolution issues occasionally, and those are probably the biggest issues. And what it does is, when you project those on the projector, our projector projects at a 1280 by 720 pixel resolution, and so you only get a part of your image actually projected on the screen, because what we do is we throw them into a slideshow and just treat them all the same.
So let me expound on that. If you think about this, now we're throwing around a lot of terms, and some of you people are probably new enough that when you hear things like resolution and image size and all that, you're thinking, what's he talking about? We're going to get into that, and we'll give you the specifics of it with actual screenshots from different programs so that you'll be able to do this. So we're not going to go in, and the purpose of this is not a full-blown class on digital imaging. All we're trying to do is give you some things so you can get by and get an image on on the projector so it's projected properly. If you think of your image much as you would think about the frame of a door, there's only a certain size that you can fit through that frame of the door. Well, the projector is basically that door frame. Get an image that's bigger than the door frame, guess what? There's a couple things you have to do. You could, use the technical term, smush it, or you could cut it down to get through the door. Well, what does the projector do? It does the same thing. So if you send Mike an image that's too big, projector just going to look at it and go, it doesn't fit. So it's going to cut it. It'll look like it's cropped improperly. So it'll look like part of your image goes away. And it's the same thing when we talk about issues like color, basically the color space that you're using. The projector sees in a color space called sRGB. Use another color space, and what it's going to do is translate it. And it doesn't translate real well. So your image may be impacted. Those are the kinds of things that we got to be addressing. Do you think of anything else?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of you may be shooting in Adobe RGB, and so you're going to need to do a conversion. Because Adobe Color Space has a much wider gamut spectrum than sRGB, and we'll show you that in the tutorial. The other thing I did think about was, when you are saving your image, the Camera Club requests that your images are sized no larger than 500 kilobytes. So that's one thing I look at when your image comes through, and if it comes through larger than that, I'll ask you to resize it. So that's another thing to look at. So basically, you want to look at size of the image, the pixel dimensions, no larger than 1280 by 720. You want to look at color space, sRGB. You want to look at size, no larger than 500 kilobytes.
So, from what I hear is, what we got to worry about is size of the image, once more. And by size, we're talking in terms of pixel. The color space that you use, the format, which has to be JPEG, what we almost forgot about.
Yes. And
then the overall amount of information, where basically that's measured in kilobytes or megabytes, that's contained in that image. In a minute, when we shut off here, we're going to go into screen projections, and you'll get some idea how to do this. And at the end of which, we're going to show you a real trick way to make your image look nice with the old keyline.
So, the old keyline trick.
Yeah, so you'll see some kind of fun things to really make your image look professional. So I guess that's it. Shall we get on to...
Off to the computers.
Okay.